Good morning, squad. Happy Friday and happy born day to the host, yours truly, MizzyWorld Entertainment, or MizzyWorld. MizzyWorld Entertainment is the company, and MizzyWorld is turning 31 today. Yeah, man, I'm Reggie Miller today, getting up there. I look good for my age, don't I? You feel what I'm saying? But to kick off Friday's episode of MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, we got to start off with the statement made last night, that very loud statement made last night by the Buffalo Bills and SoFi as the Los Angeles Rams unveiled their 2021 Super Bowl banner. Whoa. That was a straight up beatdown, a straight up massacre. If it's not for the turnovers in the first half, that game is out of hand. They could not stop Josh Allen and that offense all night. I said it was going to be situational football. The Bills dominated situational football. You could say that the Rams ended they ended the first half better than the Bills simply because they tied the game up. They were going to get the ball at half, but they did nothing with it. You look at third down conversions. The Bills were 9 of 10. You look at the Rams, they were 6 of 13. You look at red zone efficiency. The Bills were 2 of 2 in the red zone, while the Rams were 1 of 2 in the red zone. But to me, it wasn't even about situational football. It was really about, can the Rams get a run game going? They couldn't run the ball. Sean McVay is known almost like Kyle Shanahan as a running offensive mind. Like, of course, they're going to figure out ways to get people open on pass plays and all that, but they are geniuses in getting the ball into their running backs' hands and having them have holes and ollies to run through. And they could not do that last night. They could not protect Matt Stafford last night. 7 sacks. Sheesh. I know he probably felt like he was back in Detroit, like, darn, this feels like, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And then lastly, defensively, they got to do a lot better. They got to be a lot more stout out there. On the outside, y'all got to be prepared that a lot of teams are going to run quick offenses on Aaron Donald to tire him out and to negate his pass rush ability. So they got to be conscious of that moving forward. I think they'll get their stuff together. Sean McVay is a brilliant coach. Went to 5-1 in openers. I said he was 5-0 against the Bills. He was 5-0 in openers. Moved to 5-1. But I think they'll figure it out. But it's definitely a little light shined on that NFC West. Like, it might not be a cakewalk for the Los Angeles Rams this year if they can't get a run game going and protect Matt Stafford. It's just that simple. You get what I'm saying? But to move on, this episode is really going to be a football episode because I got to give out my preseason awards. I got to I'm going to give my prediction for my 49ers every Friday, and I'm going to give a prediction for my Michigan Wolverines every Friday. It's going to be Mizzy Friday. So y'all know I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan, and I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. So that's going to be towards the end of the episode. For now, let's get into the preseason awards. So starting it off, let's do Coach of the Year. For me, at Coach of the Year, I have Josh McDaniels. I was kind of torn between Josh McDaniels and Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. I slid a little bit more towards Josh McDaniels because this is his second time coaching. He has the better quarterback, in my opinion, Derek Carr over Kirk Cousins. And you could argue he has more of a complete repertoire of weapons, especially when you add in the defense with Max Crosby and them cats, and then you just add Chandler Jones. You think about offensively, you got Devontae Adams over there, number 1 receiver in the game. You got Darren Waller over there, probably the number 1 receiving tight end in the game. Then you got Hunter Renfrow, probably the number 1 slot receiver in the game outside of Cooper Kupp. But you look at every position, you quite possibly have the best player at each position. Not to mention, you got Josh Jacobs in the backfield toting the rock, running angry back there. You get what I'm saying? Angry runs back there. So I'm looking at them. I feel as though they'll be the number 1 adversary to who I believe will be the champs in the AFC West, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. I see everybody on the darling pick of the Los Angeles Rams. I feel like they'll be there, but they went 0-2 against the Raiders last year, and I think the Raiders improved vastly this year. I got to see a lot from Khalil Mack. I'm going to get into the AFC West later on down the line, but for me, my coach of the year is Josh McDaniels because it's his second time around. He has a good opportunity at a lot of wins, a lot of winning situations, a lot of good coaching situations, being in that stacked AFC West, and then he has the talent to do it. He has the talent to put it all together, and I think he can prove to be the difference between a playoff team and a real contender. Let's move into the players of the year. For me, Offensive Player of the Year is going to be Justin Jefferson. I just mentioned Kevin O'Connell. And where did he come from? Los Angeles. The number one thing Justin Jefferson said is, now I see why Cooper Kupp put up those numbers. You look at it, look at how he utilizes that number one receiver and how Justin Jefferson has been balling regardless of how he's being used since he's came into the NFL. This is going to be his third year in the league. He's understanding the game better. You got one of the best offensive minds in the world over there, Kirk Cousins. You just added Jalen Reagor. You already got Adam Thielen, so you can't really stack against Justin Jefferson too much. I'm seeing a huge year from Justin Jefferson. He's going to be on the outside. I think they put him in the inside a little bit this year. Offensive Player of the Year, and I see the Minnesota Vikings being a contender in that NFC North. That's why I was a little, you know what I'm saying? I was a little, you know what I'm saying, between those two coaches, but I think Derek Carr is just a way better quarterback that can execute what Josh McDaniels wants to do a lot better. Moving on, Defensive Player of the Year. Man, I'm gonna double down on my Defensive Player of the Year last year that I chose. That is my guy, Saint Nicky Bosa for the San Francisco 49ers. My man said he's doing record squats. My man said he's doing he's getting record times in his agility drills. Record 40 time. Record pressing. You know what I'm saying? Dude out there looking like a whole monster, just a walking muscle. And then, like I said, the opportunities. If you think about it, if the Rams are going to block like that, Nicky Bosa is going to eat all day. They had Von Miller looking like he was Denver Von Miller last night. You look at Seattle, they have a fluctuating quarterback situation. Then the Cardinals. The Cardinals are always tough just because you got Kyler Murray running all around the field. But Nick Bosa, he upped that game and that agility. You've been chasing him all around the field specifically. You dig what I'm saying? I feel as though he's going to start off the season great in Soldier Field this year. I see him having about at least 2 sacks. I wouldn't be surprised if he had 3-4 out there, John. But he's going to have at least 2 on Sunday afternoon in Soldier Field, starting off his Defensive Player of the Year campaign. You dig? And to move on, lastly, my MVP this year is going to be Mr. Pat Mahomes. Yes, Pat Mahomes. I got Pat Mahomes bouncing back, proving and reminding the league what he was when he hit the scene and how special, different he is to all the rest of the quarterbacks. I feel like over the past year, it kind of reverted back to, all he do is play backyard football, or if you sit back and make him, you know what I'm saying, be methodical down the field, he's probably going to give you a mistake. He can't read defenses as well. And I feel like a lot of people try to gear towards trying to diminish him or point out his deficiencies, and he's going to come out and he's going to remind people of his great athletic play. He's going to remind people of his great quarterback play that's coupled with a great coaching offensive mind and Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid. So I see them bouncing back very strong. Like I said, now the AFC West, you're going to have a lot of winning situations. They kick it off against the Cardinals this year, a playoff team. So they're going to have a lot of situations to go out there and prove themselves, and a lot of Pat Mahomes AFC divisional round type moments. You get what I'm saying? And he's going to elevate the play of Valdez, Scantling, and Smith-Schuster, Juju. So I'm interested to see that AFC West this year, but I think Pat Mahomes is he geared up for this challenge. He is geared up for it because a lot of people are not talking about him, and I think he's going to have a very, very strong year. But I'm gonna say this as a little caveat, and I know this is my guy, but watch out for Lamar Jackson. With him betting on himself, I wouldn't be surprised if what I'm saying, the race is really between them two this year, like it kind of was between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers last year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's between Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes this year. Pat Mahomes may inch him out, or Lamar might inch him out, but I think it's going to be between those two quarterbacks this year. Now let's move on into my predictions for my teams, the 49ers and the Michigan Wolverines. We're going to start off in college football, of course. Michigan Wolverines are hosting the Hawaii. I'm not even going to try to think of the team name, but we're hosting Hawaii in the Big House, 8 o'clock Saturday night. I got Michigan big, of course. Hawaii's not ready for it. They're going to come in, get punched in the mouth. Michigan 49-14. JJ McCarthy wins the starting job with a brilliant performance and just shows explosiveness after explosiveness after explosiveness. That's what I plan on seeing Saturday night. Moving on into the NFL, my San Francisco 49ers kick off the 2022 NFL season in Soldier Field, 1 o'clock. And I got us winning 30-20. And I see the same thing from my quarterback, Trey Lance, that we're going to see from JJ McCarthy Saturday night. A lot of explosive plays after explosive plays after explosive plays. Seeing why Kyle Shanahan debated even starting Trey Lance that final game in Los Angeles in SoFi against the Rams. But he was like, nah, Jimmy G took us this far. You got the reins, bro. Win us the game. We're going to see why. We're going to see why it took Jimmy G to take a fourth of his salary to stay with the San Francisco 49ers, because for $25 million, bye-bye. We're going to see why we drafted up to get Trey Lance. I think our defense is going to come around. They're going to start off, but Justin Fields is an athletic quarterback. I see him making some plays, and I'm going to say I probably see a mistake or two from Trey Lance that probably have put them in position to score some points. But like I said, we're going to see that we're going to win a lot of games because of Trey Lance with his leg and with his big arm. And then you couple in that run game that Kyle Shanahan can deceive and make up and game plan. It's just a recipe for success. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. Episode 9, MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. Happy Friday. Have a safe weekend. Have a beautiful weekend. I will see y'all on Monday. Y'all know what it is. Like, comment, share, subscribe, alert, listen. MizzyWorld Entertainment. Gang.